Mark Hendricks, only on KOIN 6 News. People you know.
A gallant sacrifice. 6 firefighters are missing in the line of duty battling a huge industrial fire in Massachusetts. The sound of silence continues from Mars, casting doubt on yet another NASA space probe mission. Seattle sighs with relief as the World Trade Conference leaves town and liftoff for a precious cargo of holiday gifts.
This is the CBS Evening News with Russ Mitchell.
And good evening. Tonight, investigators outside of Boston are trying to piece together the events of what became every firefighter's nightmare. 6 firefighters in the city of Worcester, Massachusetts, are presumed dead after being trapped in a warehouse fire. It is the highest total of firemen lost in a U.S. building blaze in more than 20 years. Mika Brzezinski has the latest.
The 5-story inferno still simmers as if to torture a city that has already had enough in the past 24 hours.
They were our brothers, our fathers, our sons, and our friends, and they were our protectors.
Late Friday, as the fire roared through the abandoned building, 2 firemen ventured in on reports that homeless people might be inside. The would-be rescuers became disoriented and radio for help.
This is the building from hell. No windows. It's like being in a maze with zero visibility, high heat, and fire.
Up to 20 more firemen went in search of their trapped comrades. In the end, 6 men never came out.
Part of the reason that we lost some of them was because they were working hard to find their friends.
Homeless people often found shelter in this former meatpacking plant and set fires inside to stay warm.
That building's been vacant for a long time, and it was an accident waiting to happen.
Family members arriving at the scene this morning had little hope that any survivors could emerge, and with the fire still burning, crews couldn't even begin to search or recover victims.
You can only imagine, but it hurts. You know, that's pretty much where it is. It hurts.
Because the blaze was sparked in 2 separate locations, fire officials are calling it suspicious, but any conclusion is on hold, and 6 families wait for the final awful news. Mika Brzezinski, CBS News, New York.
Lost in space, NASA's Mars polar lander is still missing in action tonight. The probe was scheduled to land on the red planet yesterday when flight controllers lost contact. Vince Gonzalez reports while scientists search, the stakes for the future of space travel get higher.
Starting in the afternoon,
the antennas of the Deep Space Network are searching for the signal.
And into last night,
we have not heard from the lander yet.
Flight controllers kept listening and listening for a signal from the $120 million Mars polar lander, which they knew they'd pointed to a perfect spot near the south pole of Mars. But they heard only silence.
This indicates a non-nominal condition.
No sound either from the cantaloupe-sized mini probes that should have already burrowed into the surface, searching for signs of water.
We have negative contact at the time with either probe.
Disappointment all around. Planetary scientists at UCLA, waiting for a windfall of data about Mars, hoped humor would help.
MPL, phone home. Mars polar lander, phone home.
Flight managers say there are computer and communication conditions that could explain a temporary loss of contact.
I think we have a long way to go before we're going to begin to get concerned, and the team is very confident.
And no one on the mission is voicing the worst-case scenario yet.
It's possible that the lander package and probe package didn't separate properly as they were supposed to before it hit the atmosphere. If that's the case, it probably broke up. There's probably debris on the surface of Mars right now and not an active spacecraft.
NASA's administrator sounds like he might be worried about his program of low-cost, high-risk space missions.
You just got to roll with the punches.
Part of the deal,
well,
right?
Yeah. This is a business. One strike and you're out.
Mission controllers will try to contact the spacecraft again tonight. Vince Gonzalez, CBS News at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena.
And there are more troubles for NASA. The agency has to decide next week whether it must wait until after the new year to launch a multi-million-dollar repair job on the Hubble Space Telescope. It's a job already postponed twice. It's keeping scientists from looking for important answers in the stars. National security correspondent David Martin has more.
The control room at the Goddard Space Flight Center in Maryland is manned, but the Hubble Space Telescope has stopped taking pictures. It has gone into hibernation, awaiting a space shuttle repair mission, which already has been repeatedly delayed.
This is going to be a tough mission. Don't take it for granted. Science is tough. Going to the edge is tough. and it's not for the weak at heart.
That's a mock-up, but it gives you some idea of what it will take to repair the Hubble while orbiting 380 miles above the Earth. It will be anchored in the bay of the space shuttle while the astronauts replace the Hubble's gyroscopes and its main computer. All told, it will be a $205 million service call.
That's big bucks.
It is very expensive, but when you balance the cost of this mission against the scientific yield, the reward-to-cost ratio is just unbelievable.
There are more powerful telescopes, but none that can peer into space without distortions caused by the Earth's atmosphere. What the Hubble has found is revolutionizing astronomy.
And this is an unprecedented period in astronomy. We're going to be learning more about the universe in the next 10, 20 years than we've learned probably in the last several hundred years.
The unimaginable fury of galaxies colliding. A halo of gas cast off by a dying star. A breeding ground for new stars trillions and trillions of miles from Earth. Hubble is revealing the origins of the universe and providing clues to the most tantalizing mystery of all, are we alone?
I think Hubble's taken a big step toward saying that the possibilities for life out there are much greater than we ever anticipated, because the places life could live, that is planets, are probably much more numerous than we thought.
I'm not sure we'll be able to find little green men, but I think if life exists, even single-cell life exists, we'll have a chance of detecting it.
But there won't be any more extraterrestrial detective work until the space shuttle astronauts get Hubble working again. This will be the third repair mission. Another is scheduled for next spring. The cost of Hubble is staggering, $6 billion overall. But then, so are the results. David Martin, CBS News, Goddard Space Flight Center, Maryland.
Still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, a last round of protest as Seattle says goodbye to the World Trade Conference. Also, the trade war over crabs that's making waves on American waters. And college basketball players, how much TV money should they net?
In this life, there's just no stopping. No break for a hacking cough. No rest for a raw, sore throat, aches, fever. But when you're desperate for relief, there is TheraFlu. Fast, powerful, hot liquid therapy. With the first sip of that soothing hot liquid, you feel relief is on the way. Soon your throat is soothed, your cough calmed. Maximum strength TheraFlu. Now in new honey lemon chest congestion and cough. Instant comfort, powerful relief.
My driving test kind of got off to a bad start.
On calls like this, you want to talk a while. That's why it's always a good idea to dial 10-10-321.
Well, I thought I was in first.
With 10-10-321, you save 50% on calls over 10 minutes. Now, that's just 8 cents a minute, day or night.
I was supposed to turn on the blinker.
And no monthly fees. And that 50% off, you can go on and on and on.
So finally, I pull out of the parking space.
Talk as long as you want with 10-10-321.
We know you're out there. The fanatics. The ones who think every tooth deserves special attention. That's the radical idea behind the new Mentadent Surround. It's the only toothbrush with an outer base that moves, while its bristles wrap and surround teeth for a clean so complete you can feel it. All of which makes the sugar honeys want to sing hallelujah. New Mentadent Surround. Meant to be different. Are you meant for Mentadent?
Delegates to the World Trade Organization meeting left Seattle today with no agreement on what to do next. President Clinton today said progress was made, but more is needed. Seattle residents today tried to reclaim city streets, but as John Blackstone reports, there was still some noise to be heard.
At the county jail in Seattle, a dwindling band of protesters kept one last sit-in going today, demanding freedom for demonstrators still in custody. In the crowd, there was a sense of victory, with the global trade talks that brought them here ending without agreement.
Would you like a rose?
In downtown Seattle, there was simply relief it was all over. At his flower stand, Michael Graham gave roses to early morning shoppers.
We want to have Christmas back. Christmas has been stolen from us.
Businesses opened up again after losing a week of holiday season shopping. It's estimated the turmoil cost downtown stores $10 to $20 million.
We're happy to have our city back.
Earlier this week, the city center was a battleground with scenes that shocked many who live here. Today, volunteers made decorations to brighten the city for Christmas.
Just to show that we have a little more spirit than riot in us.
Shoppers came not just to buy, but to help their city find joy.
Well, I know it looks a little goofy, but if I can bring a couple of smiles, maybe a chuckle, I think it's something to be good therapy for us here.
You need that right now, do you?
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Seattle's mayor had his happiest duty in many days, opening a children's merry-go-round.
This is day one of the Christmas season?
This is day one of healing. This is day one of Christmas.
But Seattle is also wondering who to blame, and the mayor is high on the list right now. The actions of politicians, protesters, and police will all be scrutinized for months to come here. Launching Seattle into the Christmas season is likely to prove much easier than figuring out what went wrong. John Blackstone, CBS News, Seattle.
If nothing else, the WTO meeting in Seattle highlighted just how emotional and volatile an issue world trade has become. A perfect example can be found in the Chesapeake Bay, where the celebrated Maryland blue crab is facing new global competition for the hearts and taste buds of diners. As Eric Ingberg reports, it's a contest with winners and losers.
Crab to hungry residents of the East Coast means this crab, the Atlantic blue. But now a huge increase in imports is threatening the survival of a way of life that supports hundreds of fishermen and the family-owned picking plants that bring the crab to market.
We're seeing our orders decrease significantly, and we're seeing prices more depressed than ever.
Brooks says the importers are overrunning the market with cheaper crab they unfairly label as blue. Local plants that can't match the price are shutting down. At the Phillips Food Company, one of the country's highest grossing restaurant chains, they see things differently.
The product's been over-harvested. The catches are way down, 50% in some cases from the mid-90s.
Since crab is 60% of what Phillips sells, they had to look elsewhere. They found a close match to the blue crab in Southeast Asia, set up processing plants, and began importing by the boatload.
I mean, they're both blue swimming crabs. We think the product, the quality of it is very, very high. And our customers are really our final judge. They keep ordering our products and seem to be very, very happy with it.
But local processors argue the consumer is being misled. They're urging the federal government to restrict the description of blue crab to crabs found only along the Atlantic coast and parts of South America.
We realize where all these crabs coming from all over the world, anybody can call a crab a blue crab. The crabs are different, just like fish are different.
Doug Lipton, an agriculture economist at the University of Maryland, says it all boils down to this.
Does the consumer know what products they're buying? Do they know they're getting an imported product versus knowing they're getting a domestic product?
And will they care enough to pay more for the Maryland blue crab? On that decision hangs the future of a way of life. Eric Engberg, CBS News, Washington.
There is more to come on tonight's CBS Evening News. Our college basketball players coming up short in those big money television deals. And a disturbing medical finding in the Texas A&M bonfire investigation.
Here's your regular internet homepage, and here's i1.com. It's free. You use it like Yahoo, Excite, or other search engines. Only i1.com gives away $10,000 every day, $1 million a month, and $10 million on tax day. Which one would you choose?
If my friend used this at work secretly and she won, would her boss get the money?
No, your friend would get the money.
It's good to know.
Introducing i1.com. Why wouldn't you?
When we asked some denture wearers why they don't use an adhesive, they didn't have a lot to say. Don't need it.
My dentures fit fine. No problems here.
But after we gave them Fix-A-Dent, they just couldn't say enough.
It's amazing, the difference. It's a great new feeling of security.
Comfort.
Confidence.
I just plain forget I have them.
That's because Fix-A-Dent adjusts to the unique contours of your dentures and gums, forming a thin, powerful seal for a better hold than you ever thought possible.
I could just kick myself for not doing this sooner.
Find out for yourself what it feels like to Fix-A-Dent and forget it.
I was ashamed of it.
For millions,
I'd actually have to hide.
gas can be a serious problem, but Phazyme starts to work on contact. To relieve gas, Phazyme Fast.
Phazyme. It works just like that.
Relieve gas, Phazyme Fast.
Yoo-hoo! Ready? Ready for a better way to get my fiber. Use your
your concentration.
New Phillips fiber caps don't contain sweeteners like most powders. They're concentrated, so they're just as effective as Metamucil. New Phillips fiber caps, effective fiber therapy without the powder.
Peyton and the Colts drive into Miami, where Marino and the Dolphins D need to come up big. Then the Raiders seek revenge against the Seahawks. Double up on CBS.
13 people were killed in a crash in an icy New Mexico highway early this morning. The van they were riding in slammed into the back of a big rig. The Border Patrol says the victims were apparently illegal aliens from Mexico. The van's rear passenger seats had been ripped out. 17 people were jammed inside. Toxicology reports on the victims of the Texas A&M bonfire collapse show that 2 of them were legally drunk. 12 people died in the accident, which is now being investigated by state alcohol control officials. A Texas A&M spokesman says that a few students drinking could not have caused the collapse. This is a day of triumph, not tragedy, for Columbine High School. 8 months after the shootings that took 15 lives, Columbine's football team won the Colorado State Championship, beating Cherry Creek High School 21-14. One of the victims of the massacre would have played for the team this year. The popularity of college basketball has pumped up the value of televising the championship tournament. CBS will pay the NCAA $6 billion over 11 years, beginning in 2003. The new contract has jump-started the debate over whether the players deserve a cut. Randall Pinkston has more on March Madness and cold cash.
There's Smith again. Put back. And look at them. It was a slam dunk deal for college sports.
It's a lot of money. $6 billion is a lot of money.
Money that Duke University star forward Shane Battier thinks he and his teammates should share.
It would be great if there'd be some kind of way where I could be compensated and just make ends meet a little bit better.
Battier's coach, Mike Krzyzewski, agrees.
I think the student athletes should get more. There's no question about it.
Despite such high-profile pressure, the NCAA, the agency that referees college sports, says no. No cash payments to student athletes.
We forget what intercollegiate athletics is all about sometime when we see all the commercialization. It's about education.
Long-standing NCAA rules say student athletes receive tuition, room, board, and books, the same as any other full scholarship student. At Duke, that's worth more than $32,000 a year. But is it enough? Is it fair to players whose dunks and defense produce millions in revenue?
I can look in a sports catalog and I can see my jersey being sold, Duke jersey number 31, and it does raise some issues. Who is getting rich off my hard work?
Besides all the games, players have long hours of practice and travel, plus speaking engagements, interviews, autographs, and promotion. Krzyzewski says they should get more because they do more.
Those youngsters are like the marketing tools for that university. They don't get compensated. They don't get anything extra for that.
CBS News, New York.
Still ahead on the CBS Evening News, it's a wrap. Thousands of holiday gifts are on their way to needy children. And meet the Ben of Ben & Jerry's. We have the scoop on his unique brand of politics.
National priorities, but give the people more of a say in how we expend our taxes in the
There's my husband, Nolan Ryan, still throwing heat. Can you believe he's got arthritis? You see, Nolan's doctor says the best way to control arthritis pain is to keep moving. And to make it easier, he recommends Advil. Nothing's been proven stronger on arthritis pain, yet it's gentle on his stomach. In fact, I take Advil for my arthritis pain. That way, we can exercise together.
Advil, stronger than pain.
Why is Lysol spray the best way to help protect your family? Because of what it does, kills the cold bug in seconds, and what it doesn't do, leave the sticky film Clorox spray does. That's why nothing beats Lysol.
We both ate Quaker oatmeal for 30 days, and it helped lower our cholesterol 10 points. In the Dewey Decimal System, that's between computer programming and library science.
Library science, that's my favorite.
Quaker oatmeal warms you heart and soul.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
Well, all right. Tailor-made Inner-Gel Ball. Explosive distance, soft feel. I found them online and at 25 retail stores.
StoreRunner.com has shopping experts in every conceivable field, like Mark Anderson in sporting goods.
Ooh, Dunlop Double Titanium Ball and a Callaway Hawkeye Titanium Driver. Am I right?
StoreRunner.com. Log on, let's shop.
AFL-CIO head John Sweeney and Commerce Secretary William Daly on the protests of the World Trade Organization. Do free trade policies hurt U.S. workers? Face the Nation Sunday.
Presidential candidate John McCain is in good health, physically and mentally. This is according to a 1,000-page report released today. The records counter what the senator's aides call a whisper campaign by Republican rivals, which challenged McCain's mental state after years of being a prisoner of war. Now to a campaign with a decidedly different flavor. A king of calories has entered the 2000 campaign, not as a candidate, but as an advocate of trimming some Pentagon fat. Does a giant in the ice cream industry stand a chance of success in the sometimes tasteless world of politics?
Now, here's one thing I'd really like to know. Where do you want your money to go?
Ben Cohen is half of Ben & Jerry's, the $200 million ice cream empire founded by two unlikely aging hippies.
On this chart, every Oreo equals $10 billion.
And it may be Ben's attraction to dairy that drove him to his latest project.
So this is the Pentagon. It gets 28 Oreos, $280 billion. Over here is education. It gets 3 Oreos worth $30 billion.
A campaign to move federal money out of guns and into butter.
Today, 10 years after the end of the Cold War, we still have enough nuclear weapons to blow up every major city in the world 10 times over. And we're saying that by changing that to just blowing up every major city 4 times over, we would save $15 billion a year.
As the current crop of presidential candidates makes its way around early primary states, Ben Cohen has launched his own campaign in the same places, with envoys using an arsenal of confections in New Hampshire.
I'm passing out cookies because I care about our kids.
In Iowa, they're taking bullhorns to sacred cows like the Pentagon budgets. Cohen claims to have the backing of hundreds of military and business leaders for his plan.
We'd save $15 billion a year every year.
That could buy a lot of education for a lot of kids.
And Cohen says his polls show voters want what he wants.
If the politicians are going to get elected, they're going to start needing to give the people what they want.
Conventional political wisdom would call such a platform political suicide, and national security could be threatened, say military analysts.
It's a fanciful idea, but it has no solid basis in fact or in our responsibilities as a great world power.
But Ben Cohen, who proved the company could be successful while still donating a whopping 7.5% to charity, is not bothered by these doubters.
Now, all we're trying to do is to integrate human and spiritual concerns into how our country is run.
Cohen may soon have a lot more time and money to devote to his campaign. Ben & Jerry's has announced that several companies are interested in buying the Vermont-based operation, and it may end up being served to the highest bidder.
For the latest medical news and information, visit our health website, cbshealthwatch.com.
I was miserable. My antacid didn't do the whole job. Then I tried Alka-Seltzer.
Only Alka-Seltzer relieves heartburn and pain and has the effervescent power to speed relief.
It made a believer out of me.
Get better relief. Get Alka-Seltzer.
Why is Lysol spray the best way to help protect your home? Because of what it does, kills odor-causing germs on soft surfaces, and what it doesn't do, permanently stain certain fabrics like Clorox spray does. That's why nothing beats Lysol.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
Just when you think you have the latest computer, you don't. But for $41 a month, get an Intel Pentium 3 processor with a Gateway PC. And with the YourWare program, trade it in toward the purchase of a new one after 2 years. Call 1-800-GATEWAY and get a year of AOL included.
We take our sight for granted in America, but for many people, it's a luxury. Every year, LensCrafters runs Gift of Sight missions to bring sight to needy people around the world.
We change lives with these glasses.
You drop them off at LensCrafters and we'll get them to people who need them.
And just the look on their face, like, wow. Every single pair matters. And the more we collect, the more people we can help.
Please bring us your used glasses today.
Computer chips implanted in your brain to make you smarter? It sounds incredible.
And they'll actually expand the human brain. They'll add more memory, more cognitive capabilities.
Cyber brain power. It's closer than you think. How it'll work and what it means for you on Countdown to 2000. Monday on the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Finally this evening, holiday spirits are flying high for volunteers of a worldwide annual gift drive. Planes loaded with presents for millions of poor youngsters began taking off from Minneapolis yesterday. Cynthia Bowers shows us that good things do come in small packages.
It is a warehouse, not a workshop at the North Pole, and the volunteers don't look very much like elves. Even so, the spirit of the season is in the air.
It's just caught the imagination of children, adults, everyone.
It is Operation Christmas Child, an extension of the relief agency Samaritan's Purse, run by Franklin Graham, evangelist Billy Graham's son. Since 1993, the program has provided holiday gifts for needy children around the world in shoebox-sized packages, millions of them.
Our nation has been a giving nation. And we've got another generation coming along, and I want them to know what it's about giving and not taking.
All that giving requires an army of helpers, from kids in classrooms who donate and pack the presents to processing center Santas who sort the shoeboxes and crate them for shipment.
Each of these stacks contains about 250 shoeboxes, and when this cargo plane is fully loaded, there will be as many as 70,000 on board. Each shoebox an individual snapshot of the person who put it together.
Skittles, candy canes. Kids like Jesse Lena from King's Christian Academy in Minneapolis. He's going all the way to Honduras next week to help distribute that plane load of packages.
We seem to get presents every year. I just don't want that to be the focus this year.
Just a motivation to get somebody a gift who doesn't have anything. I mean, it's so great. It's just such a great feeling.
Christmas may be coming by cargo plane instead of sleigh, but the important thing is that for nearly 3 million kids this year, it is coming, one shoebox at a time. Cynthia Bowers, CBS News, Minneapolis.
And that's the CBS Evening News. Tomorrow on Sunday morning, Elton John. Thanks for joining us this Saturday evening.